Oh yes, Masa, a lot of trauma indeed. But for this community, I think the aim is to ensure that this never ever happens again. And this is what we have heard from the pastors that have taken the stage, talking about the fact that they want to make sure that through this prayer, that this never happens again. You will remember that this is a repeat. Just about last year, the community went through the same pain when they lost 2 boys and 1 child survived from that incident. And they also at the time had a candlelight as well as a community prayer for the community to ensure that it never happens again. And they're saying today it needs to be a stop, it needs to be enough. In this program we have various pastors from various churches that have come here to be with the community, to support the families. But we know that also they are expecting that the MEC, Faith Mazibu, will be the person that will also speak, as she comes from social development. You will know this is very traumatic for families, so there's quite a lot of counseling that they need to go through, and also some assistance, however way that they can get that assistance. Today was the day that they had a memorial, and that in itself was also daunting to have to go through that process. So counseling being very important. But she's here, of course, as an official, also representing the government and not just her department alone, to show that the government is with the people and that they are holding hand. They're holding hand with the community. You will remember that there was a premier that also came here, and he did commit that he will see through that the investigation is done, that they are going to wait for the police to be done with the investigation so that they really know what happened. And whilst all of this is taking place, we know that there is also a child that's currently in hospital, and their parents that have anxiety, that are going through a lot, that is so difficult for them, that they have to deal with so much. Because as we had spoken to the mother, she did say that the child gets better and the next thing they say it's worse. So we know that there's a family that's going through that. So this serves as a comfort for a community, and it seems like it's something that these pastors are saying they are going to be committed to, because they're saying that even on Sunday they are deciding that all the churches within Soweto are going to be going to one place to just continue praying. But I want to just show you a little bit. There are obviously various people from all walks of life. You've got people from the community, you've got young and old that is waiting for this program to end, which we understand that will be at in about 2 hours. And when the program ends, everyone will have those candles. So everybody's waiting for that moment. You can see they're already better prepared. They've got those candles to ensure that they can light it up. But at the same time, they're going through the program, they're going through the sermon, they're listening to the pastors, they're listening to what is being preached to these communities. But they're not alone. You also have various regalias from different parties that are within Soweto, which have also shown their strength in their numbers by bringing as many people as they can to come and consolidate and assist this community however way, again, that they can. But we know that we've got within these parties, you also got some organizations that also come in to assist the community the best way, and to also assist in just ensuring that the families are going through all of this and that they are comforted, that they are not alone. We know that under the Department of Education, they had said that they will assist with regards to whatever the community might say. We know that they have already said that a mass funeral was on the cards, but of course we will hear more about that. But the ceremony, of course, will continue for the next 2 hours, and after that there will be that prayer after the sermon.
And we do look forward to that particular moment as well, Nqobile, where all those candles will be lit as well in memory of those precious lives that were lost. But also, you know, you're mentioning there that the community is saying that, you know, they're calling that this must never happen again. And it's not the first time that it does happen, particularly in that area. It's not the first time that they're saying it shouldn't happen again, but it seems to happen anyway. Do you think that they believe the officials who have descended on the area now to try and alleviate their concerns, that surely indeed it will not happen again? Or is it something that they're hoping for, but they are very cautious about it, knowing that it may likely happen again, sadly?
Masa, there's just a bit of reaction from the people here, so I'm struggling a little bit to hear you. But just to touch on that, Masa, yes, it is happening again. Previously, you had families like the Jelle family that was going through this kind of pain. So there was a belief at the time that the investigation will yield results, and those results will show exactly where the problem was coming from, and perhaps then it could be averted because these are young people. But it has happened again, and now you had 6 children that have been affected, and about 5 of them pass away, with one that's fighting for his life. And this, of course, has touched the community quite greatly, leading to a retaliation and a reaction, because everyone had believed that, of course, these snacks were bought from a nearest spaza shop, and therefore the community started retaliating the best way for the community at the time, to say that they no longer want the spaza shops until the investigation is done. But the issue, yes, Masa, is that if it repeats itself, then surely the problem remains, and that has been the issue for the community, that it needs to be stopped. And part of stopping it requires that the community itself is able also to provide things like evidence that might be needed by the police and assist the police as they do the investigation. So based on the police, they've said that whatever they require, including the clothing, the exhibits that they require, they have got all of that. Now they await various reports that are coming from different departments, so that they are able to put that together and come with an idea in terms of what really happened to these kids. But what we also know is that as the community had decided that they were going to stop the spaza shops, we saw likes of people like Candlelight who said that to the community, do not touch, because that's part of the evidence. Unless you're taking it to the police, do not take that, do not loot. So that in itself was not really much welcomed by other people in the community, which is why we saw some of them destroying those content that was in the containers, sticking to their decision really that there will be no spaza shops that is owned by foreign nationals, or rather immigrants that are migrants that are within the community, but they now want just South Africans to own those spaza shops. So solutions are coming in different ways, sometimes not the best solution, Masa, because of course the police were saying that people must still adhere to the law, and that is an issue, because once there's any altercation and there's anything that they've done wrong, the police also have to step in. And of course, true to that, we saw the police stepping in, going into some of these shops and ensuring that none of the owners' stuff have been taken from them, and just protecting the owners. But in itself also, it gave a community a different feel, or a different feeling towards how the police were reacting. Therefore, having some of the young people saying that it's unfair that as a community they don't feel protected. However, the people that they're trying to get rid of from the community, because they feel that they're guilty, even though it hasn't yet been proven by the police, they feel that they are being protected by the police. So there are various aspects to to this issue, really, Masa, but it depends which side you are looking at it. As the community, what they want is to ensure that there's food safety, because at the heart of it all, there needs to be food that is edible and food that can be eaten by children, and children don't die from it. And that is the question that we have seen at heart, that they want to know, when will we see more inspectors?